What's up guys, welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters and welcome to the 200th video on this channel. And in celebration of that, we're going to be counting down the top 5 200-point characters. Now I thought about doing a top 5 200-point characters in modern age, but I ended up with a lot of characters that I haven't really played and don't own. So I wasn't really happy with that list, so I decided to just make it top 5 200-point characters of all time. But this is really just my personal picks. A lot of these characters I just like a lot. And they're just fun to play for me personally. So, of course, let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite 200-point characters are, because I'm sure our list will be totally different. But without further ado, let's just get to the list. Alright, and starting us off at number 5 is one of my favorites from back in the day, Blue Eyes White Dragon Chase from the first Yu-Gi-Oh set. And man, he just looks amazing. I'm just so happy that we got the Yu-Gi-Oh sets, because I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, and shortly after I got into Heroclix, this set came out, and I just had to have it. I have literally every figure in the set, and this, honestly, is one of the best figures in all of the sets. Now, I have his card buried somewhere, but he only has a special attack power that gives him Penetrating Blast and Pulse Wave, and if he hits with either of them, hit characters get an action token, and if they can't get another action token, they're dealt a penetrating damage instead. So I think that's actually a really amazing attack power. And he's got a whopping 9 range. You can see that there, 9 range. And he's got 11 movement, running shot with flight, 11 attack, 4 damage with some leadership, 18 impervious. So good stats. He's got like 9 clicks of health too. And, he stays pretty solid. Good damage reducers. He gets some hypersonic there as well in the middle. His damage stays good at least. And he gets some just regular pulse wave and some toughness. Ends it on a 5 damage pulse wave, which, I wish you could still use it that way, but unfortunately you can't. But still, 11 attack, 5 damage on your last click is pretty great. So yeah, I'm just a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love this figure, and I played it a lot back in the day, and it's a lot of fun. So I thought I'd throw him on this list because I just kind of wanted an excuse to put a Yu-Gi-Oh character on one of my lists. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 5 for me. Coming in at number 4 is a more recent character and one of my favorite symbiotes, Absolute Carnage. I am a huge fan of symbiotes, Venom and Carnage in general, so of course I would have to put him on my list, and he's amazing for 200 points. He starts off with a trait that lets him use the Carnage symbiote, start the game with it equipped anyway at no cost, which is great. Improved movement, elevated's nice. Then he gets Giant Reach 3 with Flurry, so that's amazing right off the bat. And when he KOs an opposing character of 25 or more points after resolutions, you can generate a Carnage minion in that character's square. So the fact that he can actually generate his own minions after he KOs something is great, because for 200 points, bringing in a couple extra little minions for backup is a big help. Then he's got the Maximum Carnage trait that says once per turn, when he hits after resolutions, you can deal 1 penetrating damage to up to 2 opposing characters that weren't hit but are adjacent to a hit character. So you can just spread out a little free damage, which is great. Again, being such a high point character, getting in a few extra clicks on some of their support characters that are next to them or something like that, it helps out a lot. And then Battle Fury, Leadership, and Probability Control on his damage, and other characters with the Maximum Carnage keyword modify attack +1. That can backfire if your opponent randomly has a bunch of Maximum Carnage characters, but because that's going to be all characters get +1 attack. But on a Maximum Carnage team, it's pretty great, giving the rest of your team +1 attack. And since we're specifically talking about the 200-point line, 11 movement charge with that 3 square Giant Reach Flurry, 12 attack with precision for 4 damage with Battle Fury. That gets through Shape Change, makes Super Senses harder to hit. Damage can't be reduced below 1. So that's a pretty great combo there. He's also got Prob if he misses with his 12 attack, and a 19 defense with Invincible and Shape Change, and also having the Prob there is a great defense to have. And he's got a whopping 11 clicks of life with some Steel Energy there, and comboed with the Flurry, he can heal up a couple clicks. And the Carnage Symbiote also, I don't think I mentioned he has Shape Change. So the Carnage Symbiote gives him Shape Change, and whenever he KOs a character, you can heal a click, and if they have Codex, you heal 3 clicks. So that gives him some more healing every time he KOs a character, which gives him a lot more staying power. I mean, he's just such a great close combat attacker, And I mean, as Carnage should be, he can just get in there and tear things up, and he's super fun to play. And it's just so great that we actually got a good Carnage that can just feel like Carnage and just get in there and tear things up. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 for me is one of my favorite Avengers to play, and that's Giant Man. You can't even really fit on the screen here, but Giant Man holding the wing from, this was a convention exclusive figure. He came with the tank. All around great figure. The tank was amazing. Like a meta staple too. So yeah, anyway, taking a look at what he can do here. He's just got Avengers and Scientist keywords, but he's got a Colossal Retaliation where you can give him a free action if no other Colossal Retal has been activated this turn. Choose an opposing character that attacked Giant Man or damaged a friendly character since your last turn. Place him such that he can make a close attack, targeting the chosen character and do so. Targeting all other characters within 3 squares and line of fire. Hit characters are each dealt 3 damage instead of normal damage, and hit characters without flight are knocked back. So, you know, pretty much just a huge Quake kind of that hits for 3 on the retail. Really good. And then Giant Man can use Quake when he does Giant Reach X, where X is his current click number. That gets pretty insane when you're on some of the later clicks that he has that power. And then Giant Man can use Energy Shield Deflection and Toughness. This is actually one of the reasons I love him so much, because that defense power, and we'll take a look at his dial in a second. Then he, of course, has a stop click where, you know, if he began the game on the 15-point line, he can't attack smaller characters except with the retail. Pretty much your standard Colossal there. But look at this guy's freaking dial. For 200 points, he's got 19 clicks of life with a stop click at the end. I think that's just insane. An opening with a 19 defense with Energy Shield and Toughness makes him actually really hard to hit. And the fact that he's got the giant reach of 3 squares because he's Colossal, you know, that means you're hitting people from 3 squares away, and it's going to be hard for them to shoot you with your 21 defense from range. So he's just so much fun. I played this guy a few times, and I don't think anybody ever managed to get through all 19 clicks of him. So there's that. I mean, he is a great retail for 15, but that's not what we're talking about today. I love the 200-point dial just for, I mean, look at all those good 4 damage values almost the whole way as well. You know, attack value could be a little bit better maybe, but good defense, good damage, lots of charge and sidestep there, you know, some perplex and some outwit. Good, just good all around. I like him a lot. He was a lot of fun to play at 200 points. I played him at all the point values, and I would say 200 was the most fun. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 3. And coming in at number 2 on my list of 200-point characters is probably actually my favorite character on the list so far, and that's God Emperor Doom. This guy is amazing at all of his point values. Pretty sure he was like my number 2 pick as well for the 100-point line in my 100-point characters video. But anyway, we'll take a look at what he can do again, in case you guys don't already know. He's got this awesome trait that gives him free. Choose an opposing character within range and line of fire. They can't use the effect of their equipment until your next turn. So, I mean, that's already great. You can just shut off equipment on somebody. That comes in handy like all the time. Improved targeting for hindering and can make range attacks while adjacent. Definitely help. People actually don't see this one coming when they charge up on him, and then you just penetrating blasts from adjacency, and they're like, what, he can do that? Yep, he can do that. And he can see through hindering too, which is just great with his massive 9 range. Then he's got another trait that says when establishing theme teams, God Emperor Doom gains all the battle world keywords and leadership perplex, colossal stamina. When God Emperor Doom uses perplex to target another character with a battle world keyword, you may instead modify a combat value except damage by +2 or -2. That's cool if you're playing him on a battle world team, but otherwise, I mean, just traded leadership and perplex and colossal stamina especially is super good, because colossal stamina is technically not a thing anymore since the Wonder Woman set came out and they changed some rules around. But if they have it printed like this on a trade or special power or something, they can still use it as it was written back in the day when this was a thing. So he does technically still have that ability where if he has 2 action tokens, you can give him a non-free action and then just give him unavoidable damage at the end of the turn and don't clear his action tokens. So having that plus his own perplex is great because he can just perplex his own stats. But then moving on, he has this amazing special attack power that says close, make a close attack other characters can't use powers during that attack. It's not just limited to the character that he's punching. They can't use any defense powers. They can't use any stop clicks either, so that's actually really good to get through stop clicks. But also nobody else can really interfere with like prob or anything like that, so it's pretty great. And then he also has Stop, Battle Fury, Exploit Weakness. When this click is first revealed, remove all action tokens from God Emperor Doom. And, then he's got the basic stuff in there. And then, yeah, so here's the 200-point line. Starting on click number 4, 10 movement running shot, 12 attack, penetrating blast, 19 invincible, 4 damage with prob. And, you perplex his defense to a 20. It's going to be pretty hard to hit him. That whopping 9 range like I was talking about. And, the Power Cosmic team ability is great now that willpower works the way that it does, where you roll a d6 and remove an action token from yourself. It makes it that much better to use Colossal Stamina because, he can remove tokens from himself, or if you don't get lucky on your willpower rolls, he can continue to attack anyway. And if you do manage to KO something, then you have the Doom team ability that you can heal a click, and, if you Colossal Push after resolutions, you'd take a click of damage, and then you can just heal it right back with the team ability. So that's pretty cool too. And then he's got that awesome special attack power there on his charge clicks, and a little Steel Energy to heal up off of his stop clicks as well. So that's pretty cool. All around, I just really like this guy. He's just a ranged god. I mean, it's in the title. He's basically a god. And he's just so much fun to use at all the point values. He's super powerful. He feels like playing a God Emperor Doom should. And, for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 2. Now, normally we have a few honorable mentions to talk about before getting to the number 1. But for this one, I'm just going to give an honorable mention to all the 200-point characters. All of them. Give them all an honorable mention. They're all fun and cool, and, it's just fun to play a 200-plus point character. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to talk about enough of them without talking about all of them, because I'm sure one of them is somebody's favorite for some reason, just because they're so much fun to play usually. Off the top of my head, I used to love to play the Iron Man War Machine duo from the movie that was 200 points. That one was really good. There's a couple Wonder Womans and Supermans that are 200 points that are really good. The Shazam from DC Rebirth is really good for 200 points. I like him a lot. I think the Black Adam from that set was 200 points as well, so he was pretty awesome too. And there's also lots of Iron Mans and Thors and other things that I like for 200 points. And actually, the new Chase Thor from Empire, a 200-point line is actually my favorite line on him, I think. Still not amazing. There's still things better than him. But he's got one of the best sculpts of all time, so he definitely deserves a shout out for that much at least. Like I said, there's just so many cool 200-point things. Just give them all an honorable mention, and let's move on to our number 1 spot. All right, coming in at my pick for number 1 200-point characters is a character that I actually don't own, unfortunately, but I have something close. The Ultra Chase Cake Deadpool. So we're just gonna show the blue one here. The Ultra Chase is actually pink cake. But the sculpt is amazing nonetheless. So this guy for 200 points has 11 clicks of health with 2 stop clicks. He's got 6 range, triple target, starts with a 12 movement running shot, 12 attack energy explosion, 19 defense with super senses, and a 4 damage with probability control. X-Men and team player team abilities. You're usually going to want to copy the Wonder Woman team ability if you can to get the +1 to the super sense rolls. But improved targeting for characters and can shoot while adjacent as well. Makes that energy explosion really deadly because he can really just get in there and shoot inside of a group of characters because he can see through them. So it's pretty great. But then he has a trait that says Poison. When Deadpool uses it, he may treat characters with a slice of cake token that are not within 6 squares as adjacent. When Deadpool hits, give each hit character without a slice of cake token a slice of cake token. And then he has Free. Choose a character within range and line of fire. Until your next turn, Deadpool can use the effect of any equipment equipped to that character, and the chosen character cannot use the effect of any equipment. So that's amazing, like we were just talking about with God Emperor Doom, being able to not only turn off someone's equipment, but also steal the effect for yourself is amazing. And the fact that you can equip him with something and equip another one of your characters with something and then steal the effect of their equipment, it just says choose a character within range and line of fire, so it doesn't have to be opposing. You can take your own character's equipment as well It leads to some pretty deadly combos, honestly, that I have been on the receiving end of them a few times, because while I don't own this figure, I have faced it several times, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, he's a pretty insane figure. Even at the 100-point line, he's insanely hard to deal with. But at 200 points, he's even worse. And then his stop click is not only a stop click, but it's also regeneration and super senses. And when this click is first revealed, place all opposing characters with a slice of cake token adjacent to Deadpool, and Deadpool gains immune until your next turn, which is honestly the worst part of it all, because you know, having 2 stop clicks with 11 clicks of health is bad enough, but the fact that once you hit a stop click, he's automatically immune to everything for that turn means he can't be damaged, targeted, moved, or placed by anything, which means you can't, like, you know, just keep laying it on and try to finish him off past the stop click. Like, you have to stop, and there's just not really much you can do about it. And that gives him a chance to, you know, just regen off of it or whatever. And, you know, he's just such a deadly attacker and has so much, like, life to him. And he's just a lot of fun, and he has one of the best sculpts. You know, that cake dial is amazing. I mean, taking a closer look at it, if you guys haven't seen it already, just spinning this thing is just so much fun, because it's so, like, thick. I don't know. It's just, like, such a cool design for a dial. I love it. And he's just bursting out of that cake there. It's so cool. I wish I had the Ultra Chase. Like I said, I've played against it enough times to really get a pretty good feel for him. But I'm glad that they at least gave us the same sculpt for the Rise and Fall, you know, play at home kit. That was really nice of them. So at least I get to own this awesome sculpt in some form. And I am hunting down that Ultra Chase, and I'll get him one day. But anyway, for all those reasons, he's coming in at my #1 pick. Alright, so that's going to do it for another top 5 list. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash that like button. It does help me out a lot. Let me know in the comments again what some of your favorite 200-point characters are, because I would love to hear your list as well. And don't forget to click that subscribe button while you're here so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, you can check our links in the description for the Patreon, where you can see your name here in the credits, as well as some other cool stuff, so check that out if you're interested. But that's going to do it for this one, so thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.